Jessica Pegula cracks up as Alexander Bublik makes Taylor Fritz, Tommy Paul admission with $1 million prize on the line. Jessica Pegula delivered a perfectly timed reaction after Alexander Bublik offered his blunt, humorous breakdown of the upcoming MGM Slam presented by Capital One, a clip that quickly made the rounds on social media and gave fans a lighter preview of the Las Vegas exhibition. A closer look at the 2026 MGM Slam and its elite 8-man field. The MGM Slam presented by Capital One is returning to the Las Vegas Strip on Sunday, March 1, 2026. This year's event shifts focus to an elite 8-man field competing in a high-stakes, single-elimination tournament at the T-Mobile Arena. The 2026 roster is headlined by top-ranked American Taylor Fritz and fellow countryman Tommy Paul. Joining them are international stars, including 3-time Grand Slam finalist Casper Ruud, the always unpredictable Nick Kyrgios, and the veteran Gael Monfils, in what is billed as his farewell season. The lineup is rounded out by Italian star Lorenzo Musetti, the hard-hitting Bublik, and 19-year-old Brazilian star João Fonseca. How did Alexander Bublik's MGM Slam breakdown prompt a reaction from Jessica Pegula? That entertainment factor was on full display during Bublik's appearance on the Nothing Major podcast, hosted by John Isner and Sam Querrey. True to form, Bublik opened with a joke, complimenting Isner's formal look and asking if he was auditioning to become president of the Dallas Mavericks. Once the MGM Slam came up, Querrey teased that he had Bublik losing in the final to Paul, while Isner challenged him to explain why that prediction might be wrong. Bublik did not overpromise, admitting Fritz and Paul would be tough outs in such a short format. Asked to rank the field based on the structure, he put Fritz first and Paul second, noting with amusement that the two Americans meet in the opening round. He then shuffled his rankings mid-thought, praising Fonseca's upside and calling Monfils dangerous when locked in, eventually settling on Fritz, Paul, Monfils, and Fonseca as his top 4. The clip was shared on Instagram from the Nothing Major account, where Pegula dropped her laughing emoji in the comments. Querrey also chimed in, joking that Isner should dress that sharply for every show. The Las Vegas exhibition features a fast-paced, 10-point tiebreaker knockout format where winners of the opening rounds advance directly to the semifinals and then the final, all vying for a massive $1 million prize pool. When laughter costs $1 million, Jessica Pegula had perfected the art of the neutral face. It was a survival skill, really, one honed through years of media rooms, player lounges, and courtside seats where reactions could be replayed in slow motion and dissected on social media like a second serve toss gone wrong. Neutral face meant safe. Neutral face meant professional. Neutral face did not survive Alexander Bublik. The setting was surreal enough already. A packed arena glowing under theatrical lights, not the quiet, sun-bleached courts of a Grand Slam, but something louder, flashier. $1 million sat at the center of it all, not metaphorically, not in ranking points or prestige, but very literally. One winner. One oversized check. Enough zeros to make even the most financially secure tennis player briefly reconsider their life choices. Jessica Pegula leaned back in her chair, arms crossed, legs stretched out casually, doing her best impression of calm composure. Across from her sat Taylor Fritz and Tommy Paul, America's golden boys, all clean lines and controlled intensity. They looked locked in, focused, serious. Then Alexander Bublik opened his mouth. "Well," he said, glancing between Fritz and Paul with a grin that suggested chaos was already in motion, "I just want to be honest." Pegula felt it first, a twitch at the corner of her mouth. A warning sign. "When I play Taylor," Bublik continued, "I feel like I'm playing the future of American tennis." Taylor nodded politely, the way you do when someone compliments you but you're not sure where it's going. "And when I play Tommy," Bublik added, turning slightly, "I feel like I'm playing the other future of American tennis." Tommy blinked. "The other?" "Yes," Bublik said seriously. "The one where everyone is very fast, very fit, and very stressed." That was it. Jessica Pegula cracked. It wasn't a polite laugh. It wasn't a dignified chuckle. It was a full, shoulders shaking, head tilting back laugh. The kind that escapes before you can stop it, the kind that makes nearby cameras instantly swivel toward you like heat-seeking missiles. She covered her face with her hand, but it was too late. Her eyes were already watering. "Oh no," she muttered, laughing harder. "Oh no, he didn't." Bublik wasn't done. "You know," he continued, warming to the moment, "when I play Americans, I feel very inspired. Because I know whatever happens, they will analyze it deeply. With data. And spreadsheets." The crowd roared. Taylor Fritz pressed his lips together, trying not to smile. Tommy Paul dropped his head, laughing despite himself. "And today," Bublik said, spreading his arms wide, "with $1 million on the line, I must admit something very important." The arena went quiet. Even Pegula felt the tension cut through her laughter. "A confession?" "I am extremely motivated," Bublik said solemnly. "Because if I lose, I will still be funny. But if they lose," he glanced at Fritz and Paul again, "they will be very American about it." That sent Pegula over the edge again. She laughed so hard she nearly spilled her drink, the sound echoing above the crowd like a rogue firework. Somewhere in the stands, fans laughed not just at the joke, but at her reaction, the rare, unfiltered moment of joy from someone usually known for ice-cold competitiveness. On court, the match hadn't even started, but the psychological games were already in full swing. Taylor Fritz shook his head, finally breaking. "I hate that he's right," he said into the mic. Tommy Paul added, "I already know my coach is typing notes." Bublik bowed theatrically. Pegula wiped her eyes, trying to regain composure. She knew what it meant to compete with serious money on the line. She'd grown up around wealth, sure, but tennis money hit differently. You earned it point by point, sweat drop by sweat drop. $1 million wasn't just a prize. It was pressure, expectation, legacy fuel. And yet, here was Bublik, dismantling the tension with humor, turning the moment into something lighter, almost human. That was his real weapon. As the match began, Pegula leaned forward, elbows on her knees, laughter fading into focus. The serves cracked like gunshots. Rallies stretched, shoes squeaked, and intensity snapped back into place. Fritz was clinical. Paul was electric. Bublik? Bublik was chaos wrapped in talent, capable of brilliance or madness on any given point. Every time he attempted something outrageous, a drop shot from the baseline, a no-look flick, Pegula smiled, remembering the laughter. This was tennis now, she thought. Not just tradition and silence, but personality. Not just winning, but entertaining. $1 million on the line, yes, but also pride, identity, and the freedom to be yourself under the brightest lights. When it ended, no matter who took the check, the moment everyone would remember wasn't the final point. It was the laughter. Jessica Pegula's laughter, breaking through the seriousness like a crack in glass, reminding everyone that even in a sport built on pressure, there was still room for joy.